Today, I want to cover a blockchain game that actually is doing something most other blockchain games haven't figured out, which is how to create a sustainable economy. And the game I'm talking about is called EV.io. So, first of all, shout out to Web3 Wesley. I found out about this game through his really great video on the best FPS games on the blockchain. So, he made a really, really well researched video here. Really enjoyed it a lot. So, go check out his channel. EV.io is a Solana first person shooter that's built by Addicting Games, and they build browser games, right? So basically, Addicting Games have over 1 million gamers playing daily on their browser games. They were recently acquired for $35 million, which is pretty impressive. So these guys know how to onboard gamers and really make fun browser games, right? And the game is really simple. It's a deathmatch style game. Literally, all you have to do is you go to ev.io, and once you do that, you can start playing, right? It's incredibly easy to get started, and it's really, really fun. Like you can see already, it's just getting me into a game right now. So like I said, the game is very simple, deathmatch and free to play. You don't even need to register, so I didn't even register, and it's loading and basically getting me in the game. And obviously you can sign in and have your profile, but if you want to just play, you can just go in here. So this is the game. As you can see, I didn't really need to do anything to sign up. Don't have my mouse with me, so it's like my gameplay is going to be pretty crap. I just got shotgunned. I will insert some gameplay clips in there that are better with my mouse, but the essential gist of the game is you just jump in there, you start killing other players, and if you hold one of their NFTs, you will earn their in-game token called E, which is an off-chain token, and you are able to convert that token into Solana. So basically, E goes up and down in relation to Solana, so it's kind of like a constant price. Now, here's the interesting part. Unlike most blockchain games, this is completely sustainable because the in-game earnings are supported by advertising. The business model is really simple. ETH.io charges companies like Fractal, which is a Solana gaming marketplace, to advertise in their in-game maps, have banners in them. And then most of that revenue is then sent to a pool, which is divided amongst NFT holders based on how many kills each player has. So this is a pretty sustainable model that's not reliant on Ponzi-nomics, unlike most NFT games out there, where the value comes in from new players buying NFTs so they can earn money. And really, it's kind of like it basically breaks down. And that's why Axie Infinity essentially went down something like 99.99%, because it was essentially just reliant on new players coming in. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. Now, keep in mind that this means the earning potential is pretty low because they are relying on advertising, right? And it's very like beginner stage advertising right now. It's just banners in game. But for example, Web3 Wesley has a rare NFT that costs him free soul, and he earns around 20 cents an hour in USD terms. So keep in mind, when they sold the NFTs, they did it for game development. So all the pool money is coming from advertisement. So the game is actually really fun to play. You can go play it without signing up. I had some fun with it, including going on a killing spree. Most of the players in the game are free players from their existing fan base who don't really even care about NFTs too much. They're just playing for fun. They don't have those NFTs. And so this is an actual in-game economy that works, right? Now, some of you may say that the earning potential is really low. That's the point. Games aren't supposed to be really profitable unless you're really freaking good at a game to the point where you're playing in esports or you're adding value in some other way, right? User-generated content. And maybe the other exception is if you have games, let's say if there was a crypto version of EVE Online, if you end up being, kind of like one of the leaders of the factions, or if you end up being, very powerful and having ships and so on, yeah, that's the potential there, right? Where you basically rise to the top of the in-game economy. But those are three ways where it can work. But even in a game like EVE, the reason that some people might have these resources and power and so on, ultimately, if that translates to real life value, that real life value has to come from somewhere, which is usually other players that are losing money, right, and paying for it, right? So I could see that happening where you have these big in-game economies where certain players essentially become robber barons or millionaires in the game and millionaires in real life from having kind of like an empire in game. And obviously, they cash out the token, or they decide to just leave the game and then sell their assets, right? But obviously, there has to be something backing that up, in which case it would be people playing for fun. So the question I want to ask people who think that everybody should be able to play to earn, or play to earn should be like, very profitable, is in what world should clicking a bunch of buttons and grinding supposed to be financially rewarded, right? It provides zero value to the world. There's nobody willing to pay for that, so it doesn't really make sense. And yeah, you can make maybe some money from advertising revenue, but that's again very minor, right? Like it's not very big. So I think the fact that you can make 20 cents an hour playing this game is impressive, and I think that number can go up as they improve, the number of people who play the game. Because if the pool of NFT holders stays the same and the number of people who play the game increase, obviously that can increase the revenue pool. Now let's talk about where the economics of a game like this could go, right? So one way a game like this could scale, now I think this is more for somewhat more polished games, is you could go with esports, right? So there are a lot of esports from Fortnite, Overwatch, Call of Duty, etc. And essentially, if you're a really great player, you can compete in these esports. There's an audience for them. There's sponsors for them. There's a real economy around them because people want to watch them, and it's essentially an entertainment form. So blockchain would just make something like that much easier and allow for much easier distribution of rewards. So you're already seeing this happen with Fractal. They're having all these gaming, kind of contests and so on. So it's really cool that they're building that up. They're kind of helping building the ecosystem in that regard. So the second option is optimized advertising. So right now the ads are just banners on the map. There's not much CPM, which is cost per 1,000 impressions being generated. But imagine if you watched a video ad every 5 games, right? That would increase the value of the ads because advertisers would be willing to pay more because those are more engaged viewers. They're essentially, watching the video ad, right? So you could increase your CPMs quite a bit. Now, another way to increase your CPMs is, for example, based on when you connect your wallet, right? Let's say if you connect your wallet to the game, you get targeted advertising based on the content of your wallet. So I think wallet-based advertising is going to be a huge thing. That's one of the industries that I'm really looking forward to invest in. If you do know a project that's based on wallet-based advertising, hit me up on my Twitter. Would love to take a look at them. But I think that's going to be huge, where users are essentially going to be able to connect their wallet for extra features and then get more targeted ads, right? So when I say CPMs, I mean cost per 1,000 impressions, which is kind of like the revenue per 1,000 impressions of the ad. So I could easily see CPMs going up 5 to 6x, maybe even 10x, based on better optimized advertising. And I think that's going to be a huge industry, advertising in Web3. So the third option for really a strong in-game economy is user-generated content, where users get rewarded for creating new maps that are popular. This could even turn into a model where you have a free game and with map add-ons that people can then pay for to have a better experience, right? So that's obviously a business model that could work, where you're essentially paid to provide more content to the game, which improves engagement, people are willing to pay for it, etc. Now, overall, there are many options to turn this economy even stronger, increase the earnings that people are able to earn from this kind of game. But overall, I'm super impressed by the fact that they built a sustainable foundation that's generating revenue. And go check out the game. It looks pretty awesome. Now, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter as well. My Twitter is basically going to be in the description. And thanks again for watching the video.